Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making overnight oats. This I love to eat in the morning for breakfast, and also my son, he loves it. So what I do on Sundays, I usually just make a bunch of them for the week and sit them in the fridge. Of course, you know, my handy dandy mason jar, love it. There's different sizes. Well, these are both 12 ounces, but one is a wide mouth and one is not. I use them both. I prefer this one. So if you're gonna get some for overnight oats, this is the better one because it's wider. Ingredients: oats, main ingredient. Today we're gonna use our fruits, blueberries and strawberries. I'm gonna use this yogurt here. And for those who are not good with dairy, there's options. This one here is coconut milk yogurt alternative. It's delicious also, not milk based. And of course, my unsweet almond coconut milk. Sweetener is gonna be agave, which is, I would say, great for either vegans or non-vegans. First, we're gonna put our oats. I use about a 1/4 cup of oats in my 12-ounce jar. If you're using bigger jars, make your judgment based on the jar size. And you can use bigger jars. So about that amount, depending on your oats, depend on how much fruits you want to go in your jar. Okay? Okay, now you see the reason for the wide mouth instead of this one, because it's harder to get the things down in the jar. So I'm still gonna use them because I have them. I'm making 8 jars. Next, I usually put my yogurt. I use 2 tablespoons to each jar, 12-ounce jar. You can make your changes if you're using larger jars. It's a little bit tedious to use these other jars, but it's still usable. But if you have option, the wide mouth is definitely the better jars. Next, we're gonna put some agave, which is the sweetener, to add into your overnight oats. I usually not measure it, just eyeballing. You don't need a lot because it's a sweetener and you don't want your oat to be very sweet. So if you can see, I would say a little bit, maybe a spoon, a tablespoon. So using the yogurt Chobani, I love Chobani. Yes, I love Chobani's yogurt because it's so creamy, and it's Greek, of course. I love Greek yogurt, but it's not just that other Greek that's just so strong. If you know Greek yogurt, you know it has this. I don't like those ones, but this one is really good. Using the yogurt in the overnight oat, it helps it to be creamy, especially since I'm substituting my milk to be almond milk instead of regular milk. Now, if you're trying to use this yogurt instead of your typical milk-based yogurt, I would suggest putting not a lot of sweetener in it, because to me, this has a little bit of sweet taste to it because of the coconut. After that, I add my fruits. So I'm gonna be adding some, can you see? Blueberries. Love blueberries in my house. And of course, my delicious strawberries. So usually it depends on how much you want to put in yours. We love fruits in this house, so I usually put a good amount of serving of a mix of each. So I put my strawberries. Doesn't matter what order you put it in, because we're gonna stir the whole thing up. So we just put some scoops of and filled up. Actually, if you can see, I diced these a little bit bigger, not tiny, just enough so you could taste it in the morning and it won't disappear when you are stirring. Okay. And then I'm gonna add my blueberries. Okay, so far, that is what it looks like. If you can see, of course, I have two different jars. This one looks more than this one because it's gonna be harder to get it out of this one than this one. So I decided not to fill this up so I don't have space to get it out when it's time to get it out. But like I said, get the wide mouth jar, much better. Next, we're gonna do milk. Now, you don't have to use the exact same milk as I am. I like the coconut and almond blend, but there's also just almond or just coconut, either one you choose. Unsweetened is preferred. If you're gonna use sweet, I would suggest not adding the sweetener, because the almond milk sweet is actually sweetener by itself. Now for that, all we need to do is just cover, okay, the fruits and everything else, because we're gonna stir it up, but we wanna make sure once we stir it up, it's gonna be creamy, not just a thick oat, because it will become thick together, melt together in the morning, but you wanna be able to have it be smooth, not like a big chunk of uncooked oatmeal. Now you might be wondering how much space is left in there, but I'm gonna add top strawberry and blueberry to the top. That is not gonna be mixed in. So I need to allow space for that, and also space for the rising, because the oat will expand overnight. And we don't want to have problems with it not having enough space. Now, if you can see how it is layered, but I only layer it that way so I can know what I'm putting in, okay? If you can see better with this clearer container. Now I'm gonna stir it all up. So I just push my spoon to the bottom and kind of pull it up to the top. That way I'm not agitating, especially the strawberries that are cut. That way it's not being crushed up in the mix. It should still be whole pieces and not crushed up pieces once you're done mixing it. Now you see how creamy that is? You want to mix it until your yogurt is not visible. It's actually mixed in with the almond milk. And if you can see that right there is how it's supposed to look, creamy. Now in the morning it will not, you see, it should have liquid in it when you're done mixing, because the oat is gonna be expanding overnight and you don't want it to suck up all the juices, because you want it to still be a little bit juicy. After that, I'm gonna be topping this with the rest of the fruit on each, just like that. Now, purpose of the overnight oats is to have prepared breakfast that you don't have to do in the morning. So closing it up with the mason jar, handy dandy mason jar. You know how much I love my mason jar, because it actually keeps things fresh. Now these you can make on Sundays and you can put them in your refrigerator for a whole week, 5 to 7 days. They're just as delicious, even more delicious as the days go by. And I love them. My son loves them. He's only 13. Your children will definitely love them if they love oatmeal. And you can get their fruits in and save on time. It's something they can easily go and pull from the refrigerator and have themselves, especially if you're homeschooling at this time. It's perfect. You don't have to wake up and feed them, because they can actually go feed themselves. So I hope you like it, and please do try it. If you do try it, don't forget to share in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.